Hello fellow gamers, Peter here from the Esoteric Order of Gamers. Now you may remember I did recently an unboxing for ISS Vanguard by Awaken Games. They very kindly sent me the first wave pledge and I've unboxed it and now I'm about to play it. And I haven't played this at all because I want to experience the tutorial with you. It eases you into the gameplay with the tutorial section and we'll see how easy it is to learn the game using it. So I've got my iPad here with the log and my rule book, some crew member stuff. There's 2 tutorial decks to start with, and let's get started. Now, because I'm going to do this as I go, it might be a little bit rough. I'm doing this without too much editing. I'll chop out any really boring bits, but let's experience what it's like together and see how good this tutorial is for ISS Vanguard. Certainly looks fantastic and I'm looking forward to getting started on it. I've made up the little dice tower here out of MDF board. In fact, I actually painted the backs of the MDF in black using a felt tip marker with lots of layers of black felt tip to make it look even better. And then I've stuck it together with MDF glue and yeah, we're kind of ready to go. So let's give it a go. Now I've got the log entries here, so of course the most important thing is spoilers are ahead. I am going to spoil the first tutorial section, so if you want to play it on your own and you want to be surprised, stop right now. Still here? Let's get started on our adventure into the stars.
Good morning, crew. If you're hearing this, it means you belong to a small group of essential personnel waking up in the first wave. Let me bring you up to speed. For the last 2 years, Vanguard has been cruising safely to our destination, following alien coordinates to the main objective of our mission. 5 days ago, we switched off the Alcubierre drive and dropped to sub-light speed. You might feel a bit heavy on the main deck. Gravitational compensators keep deceleration down to a slightly uncomfortable 2G. The red zones on the ship are locked and off limits, unless you want to experience what 90G feels like. We're now approaching our target. So far, sensors aren't picking up anything, but don't let that get you down. We're still a ways off, and...
Collision course alert. Action required.
Report. What's going on?
Sir, we're detecting a massive cloaked object directly in our path. The calculations show we're 3 weeks from impact.
Begin evasive maneuvers.
Sir, this object is several times larger than our solar system, a diameter of nearly 200 astronomical units. Considering our current speed, I'm not sure we'll be able to adjust the course in time.
How could we miss something this big?
The object employs some active cloaking technology and does not seem to have any gravitational interactions with nearby systems.
Sergeant Nahi, are the section leaders awake?
Yes, sir.
Get them up here and lock down the bridge. Not a word of this to anyone. We don't want to cause a panic on board.
Well, it sounds like we've got a cool, calm captain who's got things under control. That's very good. So that's the first thing. What do? Proceed. It says follow the setup instructions for the tutorial on page 11 of the rulebook. So I've already done some of this. We've got the starting stuff. There are actually 2 other key crew members as well. Here they are. So you have your 4 crew members to start with. And basically it asks you to start with the tutorial deck A, and you get these 4 characters from the tutorial deck and you put them in sleeves. So they have these lovely rank 1 sleeves here. And you do that depending on which department you've assigned them to. Either, what are they? Science, we've got recon, science, engineering and security. So you do that, you set all that up, and then it basically says prepare an away team. So if you've got 1 player, in my case, you just have 2 crew members. So I've decided to include recon, who's basically, the leader, and science to go down to the planet. I'm not going to be all aggressive and use security, so I'll put those 2 aside. So I've got Yoppie Ulrich and Amir Zainab, my recon and science department fellows. And then you set up these dice. So you've got 3 different colors of dice and you have to match the symbols that it's in the rule book here. You pick a miniature for each one. We've got that. The next thing we do is we take the top 12 cards from tutorial deck A and there are 3 cards for each character. So I will get 3 for science, you don't change the order, and 3 for recon. And I've got to do log 5 as well. So we move to log 5. Here we go. It downloads each section as it goes. So
Capcom, this is the away team. We're approaching the target. Our short-range scans detect an outer shell of unknown carbon allotrope that seems to absorb all emissions. We have no way of knowing what's inside.
We're already crunching your data, away team. I'll let you know if we find anything.
No wonder we couldn't detect this thing. It was literally built to be invisible.
Should we attempt a landing?
No, we're not sure how resilient the structure is. Make a closer flyby and deploy a sample gathering drone.
Roger, Vanguard. We're...
Wait, I'm detecting something on the surface of the sphere. A metallic object embedded in its shell. Look here. The surface around it is cracked, almost as if it crashed into it. It's turning toward us? We're hit! It's shooting at us! It's some sort of automated sentry, anchored on the sphere!
Abort. Do you copy, away team? Abort mission now.
well, the drama is increasing. I love that bit where he said, "It's turning towards us." That was some really good acting. But on the whole, it sounds good. So the next thing we do, we've crashed on the surface of an alien planet. Continue reading the prepare section dice and cards instructions. So this is great because it's just going between the rulebook and the log quite smoothly. Now we've got prepare section dice. So I've already done that. We add the dice for depending which crew members we have. We prepare our section cards, which I've already done. So you've got those. Now we draw the top 2 cards from the section deck into their hands. So these are all in order, so it tells us what we should have. So Amir Sayeb should have trial and error and improvised treatment, which he does. And my recon guy, which is Yopi Ulrich, I should say, has got born lucky and athletics. So the main effect is the one up the top. That's the main effect. And then we've got a dice combination effect as well. These cards represent the unique training of crew members and various special feats they can perform. Okay, interesting. Now we prepare the planet board because we've crash landed on this planet. So we get the Planetopia. Okay, this is the planet board for the tutorial, which is called the Eye of the Void. The object you have crash landed on. Remove from the game this side up card from the top of tutorial deck B, which is this little deck here. Remove that. Take the top card from tutorial deck, rank up card, place it incomplete side up in the space indicated on the top edge of the board. There we go. So that says to increase their ranks after a planetary exploration, your team will need to fulfill a specific task listed on the rank up card and gather enough success tokens. In this exploration, you only need to gather at least 3 success tokens. Once you do, flip this card to the completed side. I have to say, what a difference it makes. Paul Grogan from Gaming Rules did this rulebook, and it's so clearly step-by-step done. Very meticulous, very nicely done. Take the next card from Tutorial Deck B, which is Unique Discovery number 1, and place it face down on the Unique Discovery space in the top right. That's there. This slot is used to hold special samples, specimens, and artifacts you may find. Take the next card from deck A and place it face up in the mission space below. There we go, face up. Mission regroup. Do not read this yet. Take a look at the sectors on the planet board, the number of sectors shown in the bottom right of a sector space. So these numbers here. Some of them contain a pre-printed point of interest, POI card. Sector 3 contains an empty space, that's up there. For a point of interest card, other sectors contain a log entry to be read as soon as you enter that one. I see log entries. Oh, there we go. The lines connecting some of the sectors represent available travel paths. Take the top 11 cards from Tutorial Deck A, points of interest, and place them face down next to the planet board. Take the top 4 cards from B, this is injury cards, and place them face up next to the planet board. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully we won't have too many injuries. Place the mini for Amir Zainab. He goes in Twisted Wreckage. and my other guy goes into crash site. Oh, I see. So one of us is in a crash site, the other one's in some twisted wreckage. Okay, turn available. So turn available, there are our tokens. And then we give a start one to Amir, who's there. Read mission card M01 allowed, which is this one. Okay, so here's our first mission. Here we go. Mission regroup. Scattered across disparate sections of an enormous alien sphere, we must find a way to regroup. Objective, regroup in Sector 4, which is there. All crew members need to be present in this sector at the same time. Whenever someone enters Sector 4, don't forget to go to the log listed there. That's a little hint. Completion. When you fulfill the objective, you'll be asked to discard this mission. Okay, your team is scattered across the surface of this strange alien structure, some trapped in the broken tail of the crushed lander and some scattered around the burning front half. Your mission is to regroup in Sector 4. So, here we go. First thing we got is Amir's first action, but we read this section after reading log 20. So let's go for log 20. Where is log 20? Here.
Away team, exploration report 27C.
We survived the crash, but we were not out of the woods yet. The lander broke into 2 parts upon impact, and some of us were trapped inside its mangled tail section.
Okay, so we go on to Amir's first action. Right then, planetary exploration is divided into a series of rounds, and each round starting with a crew member with the start token going clockwise. Each crew member takes a turn to perform 2 actions. So Amir Zainab is going to start. And there are 5 actions you can perform. Travel, rest, prepare, lift off, and a special action once per turn. Amir would like to perform the travel action to move to Sector 5. Yes, he would. Because Amir is here, so he'd love to do that. But he's got to get out of twisted wreckage first, and the only way out of the tail part of the lander is blocked by a heavy buckled bulkhead. Oh dear. So, the special action is the top thing on the card. There's a dice check required. That's what this icon means here. So, I've got to perform this special action. Force the bulkhead open is what it is. That makes sense. So this is kind of scripted because it's leading you through and it's a tutorial, but obviously later on you'll get to know how these systems work. But the steps to do it are summarized on the reference card for a dice check. Here it is here. So to estimate the number of dice you need to get the desired result, look at the rows below the name. Okay. A row marked in green is a positive outcome, and one in red usually means it's unsuccessful. So in this case, the red outcome space has an arrow pointing to the green outcome space. That means even if the action fails, after you resolve the red, you resolve the green. Aha! So we look at my available dice here on my board here. I've got no dice with any of the icons needed. Here are the icons that I need. Okay, so I could choose to roll no dice and just accept the red outcome, which is a danger die. I don't think I want to roll the danger die. I don't want to do that. So take the red and blue dice. Although these dice do not have any of the icons needed for the green outcome, each die has a Vanguard icon, which is this little triangle thingy here, which counts as any other icon. There you go, so it's a wild result. Oh, so I only need one of the, because they've got little strokes next to them, I only need one of those 3 icons. I see, so it's easy. Add injury and danger dice is the next step. We can skip that because I have no injury dice. For this tutorial, instead of rolling the dice, place them in your roll pool above your crew board so they show the result depicted. So it's just going to tell us what the result is so it can lead us through how we do this. So there are our 2 results. Didn't get a Vanguard symbol, it looks like. The icon on the red die is an accident. Oh dear, that's not good. Often this will result in a negative effect as indicated by the special action, but we haven't got an accident symbol, so that's good. The other one is a basic icon. This has no effect on its own, but could be useful. This is a very clear book. It's great. It just has a thing here showing available dice to hand, to roll, pool, to spend, pool, the whole thing. It's very, very clear. It's great. So, modify the results. Now I can place section cards and use other dice modifier effects, such as certain equipment cards, to change the results. So if I can play my trial and error card here, During a dice check, move one dice from the roll pool to the owner's spent pool to turn another dice to the chosen result. Okay, so I can move the accident die to my spent pool to change this one to a Vanguard. Okay. Now, this is the one thing. I've got to say, been a fan of dice rolling systems. And this is the reason. You usually have to get some symbols, as in this case. You roll the dice, you don't get the symbols, and then you get to mitigate it with cards and all these different things and change it and everything. And it always feels a bit kind of, I don't know, there's something about it. I was playing the Doctor Who game as well, the Time of the Daleks, and that's got a dice system as well. It always feels strange kind of rolling to get symbols, and you go, oh, I didn't get it. But then you go, oh, but I can do this, this, and this and change the results. So that is a personal thing. That's just me. I'm for some reason it's never really grabbed me, the whole concept of rolling for symbols and then being able to change them out later. Now, obviously, this entire game is built on that system, which is fine, and we'll see how it works. And some people love it. It's just a thing with me. So I'm going in a little bit kind of with a bit of preconceived notion about these dice systems. So let's see how it works out. Let's see if it's fun. So I've done that, and I've managed to get myself a Vanguard symbol. Now, do you see what I mean? Because, if you've got the right card, what you rolled doesn't really matter because you can fix it. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, so this card goes face up in my discard pile, which is over here. I'm going to have to make a bit of space for this guy. And other crew members can assist if they're in the same sector. They can play a section card as well, so that's handy. Check for dice combinations. Don't have to worry about that. Don't have to worry about resolving injury and danger dice. Resolve special effects, no. Outcomes. So the outcome of the procedure is we basically look at this and we see that we've got one of the symbols, or we've got a Vanguard anyway. Start from the top row and proceeding down, check to see if you meet the requirements. If you do, move those dice to your spent pool and place a marker on the outcome space. So I did achieve that, so that goes to my spent pool, and then I get a marker. I put a marker on that to say that I've achieved it. Now in this step, we'd move all remaining dice in your roll pool to your spent pool. So there you go, spent. Resolve outcome. So now we remove the marker from the marked outcome space and apply the effect. The first effect is gain a success token. So we get a success token and we put this up in the success token space up there. The second effect is replace with card P101. So that's this one here. So that will replace this card. Outer surface. So there you go. I've got to the outer surface. So that seemed long-winded, obviously, but this is the first time I've done it. So, it's going to take longer. Eventually, this will be very easy. You can see on this one, it's getting a little bit more complex. We've got a different rows of things that you can do. So while it seems like a procedure, obviously, it's got to do that to take into account things like the injury dice and other things that might happen. So now we're on the outer surface. We can't reach the other part of our lander via the surface, but we could descend into the honeycomb structure of the sphere. That doesn't sound like a great idea. So that ends Amir's first action. We've got the basics of a dice check done. Let's go on to his second action. Okay, he's on the outer surface now with another special action on it. Now, I can only perform one special action, which is indicated by this little arrow symbol here, per turn. Therefore, I've got to choose a different action. So unlike the previous point of interest, this card doesn't have this icon, this little arrows icon, which means you can perform the travel action and move to another sector. I see. So that's like a blockage thing. That's, you can't go past it. So we haven't got that. So I don't have to do this. I can actually move. So let's do it. Travel action allows you to move your crew member along a connecting path. So there's one path here. Here it is, this little path along here. So you must resolve any icons as you travel along a path. That symbol means you look at the current global condition in the bottom right hand corner of the planet board, which is down here. There's a little travel symbol here. It says, this instructs me to resolve a travel icon. You must spend one die, move it from the available space to your spent pool, or roll a danger die and look up the result on the danger die reference card. So for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to take the risk of rolling a danger die because he's walking across the surface. There's all kinds of horrible dangers. Roll one danger die. So here's a danger die, the big yellow one. Let's pop it down here. And I get what looks like a wound. It's a teardrop symbol. So if it just tells me what to do. Instead of rolling a die again, it's telling me what to do. In this case, I gain a just a scratch injury. Little scratch. You cannot take another injury. Okay, so injury cards. These go down here, it looks like. Looks like there are 3 spaces for injuries here, and the last one says injury card, caution, high probability of dying. Okay, we're up to log 227. Here we go, let's find it. In fact, I can just type it in here, I believe.
Do you read me? I'm now under the surface of the sphere. It seems that the cloaking panels rest on a delicate carbon mesh, sparse enough to squeeze through.
Good. We can use this to navigate under chasms and cracks.
I wonder how deep it goes.
Stay focused on your mission. We need to regroup first.
Roger that.
Stay focused. Place point of interest card P109 face up in sector 5. Okay, so there's the log. So, that's why we went to that log, because I moved there. That's why we had log 227, of course. So, point of interest 109. Let's find it. Face up. There we go. As you can see, this sector appears to be a dead end. The only other path connects this sector with sector 6, which is over here. But unfortunately, the directional arrow indicates that you can only travel from sector 6 to sector 5. Not from sector 5 to sector 6. You see it's got a directional arrow on it. Curses. Okay, carbon mesh. There's no obvious way forward, only a labyrinth of tiny passages. Ooh. Alrighty, so I've done that. That's the end of Amir's turn. Amir's turn is now over. Flip his turn token to the turn ended side. There we go. Now we get to draw an event. However, event cards will be introduced later in the tutorial, so we're going to skip it for now. So there you go. Now we go to log 50. 50.
Away team, exploration report 1B. When I woke, the cockpit was dark and filled with smoke. A strange glow seeped in through the cracks of the fuselage. Whatever this turret brought us down with, it was still eating through the hull, melting steel like butter. I thought about the oxygen tanks and supplies in the cargo bay below the cockpit. If we were to survive until the rescue, they needed to be saved.
Okay. Continue reading second crew member's turn on page 19. Well, this is a very clear tutorial, I've got to say. It's getting me through a little bit of story. It's clearly introducing rules, but it's got the read out stuff as well. This is going quite well. So, any crew member in Sector 2, which is Yoppie Ulrich, faces a difficult situation. The melting hull is endangering volatile oxygen tanks. The point of interest also depicts the blocking icon, this one here, meaning no travel from this sector is possible until the emergency is dealt with. So the second crew member should choose the Save the Supplies special action. Here it is here. Well, we don't have much choice really because we can't travel anywhere else. This also requires a dice check, but it's resolved in a different way to the one we saw in Amir's turn. Instead of outcomes with the requirements, each outcome has a track associated with it. I see. You see all the rules going to get slightly different as we go along. This type of dice check represents various activities with progress that can be measured. Instead of rolling a fixed requirement, each of your dice will give a chance of progressing one of the tracks, blah, 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 blah. So we'll place universal markers on the tracks as we go. So, 2 special effects of this action resolve from left to right. Any accident icons you roll will progress the red track. I see. There we go. And then those dice will be moved to your spent pool. Then each section die you have remaining in your roll pool. Well, one thing that's different about this dice system is that you have just a certain pool. You're not just picking up dice and rolling them to get symbols. You also have to manage how you use your dice in your pool so you don't run out of dice and things like that. So that adds a twist to it, which is interesting. So it's the same 10 steps, so let's go through them again. So we want to choose dice. We take all 5 dice, it says. Here we go. Let's pop them down here. Okay. Oops. I've got to fix my dice tower. It needs a bit more glue. So we've got all these. These are my rolled dice. They go above my thing. This time we use the actual results you rolled. Okay. If you rolled no more than one accident result, all is good. Skip to step 5. Yay! That's handy. So resolve special effects. For each accident symbol, progress the red track once and then place that die in your spent pool. Okay, so this gets progressed once and then this goes in your spent pool. Okay, and I see the first one actually places it, so there you go. Then for each remaining die in your roll pool, progress the green track and place it in your spent pool. So let's see what we can do. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what icon we have. Spend 3 dice, doesn't matter what they are. Actually, we need 4 dice, don't we? Because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 4th one will be on to the end. That progresses it. So I get another success token. That goes up there. It's not telling us what those are for just yet. Then replace the point of view in this point of interest in this sector with P102. Well, that was relatively easy. Recovered supplies, we won't have to worry about food or oxygen for a long while. Of course, I've used all my dice, which was probably a problem. So I actually rolled really well there because so basically what that roll was is trying not to get too many accident dice, so the red track didn't fill up before the other track. So it's 2 tracks playing off against each other, which is pretty cool. Right, so now I'm out of dice. It's going to tell me how to refresh them, which is the rest action. So now my commander's going to take a rest, get the dice. So performing a rest action reduces the number of supplies you have. Here we go. Oh, in this tutorial mission, your supplies are unlimited. Oh, there you go, which is on the global condition card. You have unlimited supplies in this tutorial. So we've got to control supplies as well, which is interesting. So when you rest, you refresh half of your total number of section dice rounding up. So I've got 5 dice, so any 3 of the dice. But which ones? To refresh a dice, move it from your spent pool back into a matching coloured dice slot on the left side of your crew board. I'll put 1 of each. See what happens. Finally, as the last step of the rest action, draw 1 section card from your deck into your hand. Oh goody, I get a card. At rank 1, the maximum number of section cards a crew member may have in hand is 2, as shown on your crew board. If you now have 3 cards, you must discard 1. They all sound good. Dash, born lucky, athletics. Let's get rid of athletics. No, let's get rid of dash. Right, his crew member's turn is over, so that goes to there. So I've done a full turn. 2 crew members have gone. I don't have any more crew members, so that's kind of it. Full round is now completed. Go to log 59. Oh, that's a red one, sorry. All crew members now have their turn token on the turn ended side. This ends the first round. From now on, you have full control over your choice of actions. Oh no! Before continuing the game, browse through the sections under continuing the tutorial in the rulebook. There's no need to read all these sections in full, only read them the first time you need them. So continuing the tutorial. So what I'm going to do now is pause, read the rest of the continuing the tutorial section, and then I'll come back and play around without the guidance of the tutorial. But so far, very impressed with the tutorial. This is a very easy way to learn it. It doesn't seem too complicated, really, isn't it? You're just moving. It's just terminology and icons and things like that. But a nice little tutorial. So I'll be back soon. Okay, the training wheels are off and it's time to continue with this particular adventure without the tutorial rules. So I've actually read through the rest of the rules now and they're pretty straightforward. The planetary exploration phase is pretty easy. It's actually, now that I've read the rules, I look back to the way I went through the tutorial, and I don't know, it's just me. Tutorials I know are great for some people, but I actually prefer just to go straight into the rules, because sometimes when it's being stretched out step by step in a tutorial, it seems more complicated than it actually is. However, I appreciate the fact that some people really enjoy tutorials. I just like to get straight into the rules, and I like to make a rule summary and reference. So I've made one for this. This is just a rough printout as I fine-tune it. But of course that will be available soon on the Esoteric Order of Gamers website, orderofgamers.com. You know, that's the way I like to learn. Anyway, so we've got to continue, And one thing that's interesting here, of course, is that at the start of the turn we don't get our dice refreshed. We actually have to rest to refresh our dice, which is interesting. So let's start off with our recon guy, and he's getting 2 actions, of course. Now the first action I think I'm going to do, should I rest? I've only got 2 dice, and I can see this is going to be a difficult decision all the way through. Do you press on or do you rest? So I've got several options. I can travel, I can prepare, which gets me another section card, and I can rest, which obviously gets my dice back, and I can lift off if I'm in a lift off space. So what I'm going to do, I think, is, well, let's just play it a little bit safe and prepare first. So I should say rest. So I would reduce my supplies if I had them, but I don't. So I can refresh half of my total number of section dice. Well, that's fine, and that is rounding up. So I can get these 2 back, and remember, you always put them back on the side with the bracket showing, because that shows you what's the most popular result on that particular dice. So I put those back. That's one action, and for my second action I think I'm going to travel. So I can travel between these 2, and it says it'll cost me a dice. I'll have to spend a dice to do that. So I can spend a dice of any color. Let's spend, say, a green one, like so. Actually, I'll spend a red one because his green symbol allows him to do a conversion ability there. So I move here, and it says go to log 311.
Away Team Exploration Report 1C. The darkness and silence of an eons-old structure enveloped me. The carbon mesh formed small tunnels, their network sprawling under the pitch-black surface of the sphere. I set up a radio beacon to notify the other survivors of my location, and sat there, in the dim light of the flashlight, trying not to think too much about who these corridors were made for.
Are all crew members in Sector 4? No, we're not. Oh dear. Keep taking turns until all crew members are here. So that means obviously I have to get everyone together into Sector 4. Interesting. Okay, so that's my 2 actions. So I can turn this over. So now I've got Amir from Science. Now he has to get into 4 here. How am I going to do that? This one here, I've got Squeeze Through, which is a dice check, and it has a danger die symbol on it as well. All I need is either a compass icon or a computer icon. So I'm going to take 2 dice to roll. Now normally when I get an injury, it adds one of these injury dice to my board, though during the tutorial it didn't do that. See, this is the thing about tutorials, it gets really confusing because you're not playing the proper rules, so it's a little bit confusing there because I should have had an injury dice added. So let's just say you don't, so I just have to roll 2 dice. Here we go. And that's good because I've got a Vanguard symbol here which can count for any other symbol, so that gives me a symbol. So I take my crew member and any number of assisting crew members from this sector and place them in Sector 4. I didn't get an accident symbol, so I don't have to read log 112. So they go onto my spent thing there. I'm on 4. I've got to read this log entry when they come in, so same log entry. We know that. Let's proceed. We're all in Sector 4. Yes. Here we go.
Away Team Exploration Report 1D. As the last member of the away team appeared in the distance, we felt instant relief. The mission started in disaster, but we were alive. We regrouped, we had some supplies, and we were not far from the designated landing zone. It was time to get to work. First, we needed to make sure that any rescue team sent after us wouldn't suffer the same fate.
Your first mission is now complete. Congratulations. Yay! Proceed. Right, so I gain a success token, which goes up here, at the top. Place point of interest card 105, technical corridors in Sector 4, where I am. This replaces the card outline, which means crew members who enter Sector 4 are no longer directed to log 311. I see. Remove mission card M01 from the game. Oh, this is the one, regroup. Objective, regroup in Sector 4. So the mission is actually on the mission card here. All crew members need to be present in the sector at the same time. When you fulfill the objective, you'll be asked to discard this mission. So that's that mission done. Yay. Take the top 5 cards from tutorial deck B, all cards with the event. Now I'm supposed to take the event. So there are our event deck. Next log.
Away Team, Exploration Report 1E. The demolition charges we salvaged from the lander could now come in handy. Thanks to the webway of tunnels under the surface of the sphere, we could reach a spot directly under the cannon and blow up the entire portion of the sphere it rests upon. We know it is a safer and faster approach, though it would lead to a gaping hole in the structure and remove a part of its cloaking surface. The giant Dyson sphere would no longer be invisible. Some of us proposed a riskier alternative. We could reach the cannon via the surface, run towards its base, and then find a way to disable it, or destroy it with a much smaller charge placed directly on its side. We put it to a vote.
Aha, very interesting. We seem to be very relaxed with the fact that we're destroying alien technology here with demolition charges. But anyway, maybe that's just me. Okay, Sector 3 contains the cannon which brought down your lander. Oh, well, then again, they did shoot a cannon at me, so... When exploring alien worlds, your away team will often come upon tough choices that can shape your campaign. This is one of them. Blowing up the sphere under the alien cannon is faster and safer, but it will compromise the ability of the sphere to cloak itself, making it easier to find for all other potential travellers. Surgically disabling the cannon will take more effort and be riskier. Aha! Choices! Excellent choices. I'm actually getting into this. This is pretty cool. Okay, I reckon we should surgically disable the cannon. More effort, riskier. That's the way to go. All players discuss and choose one. In the case of a tie, the security section player makes the final decision. So, it's got 2 little choices here. I'm going to approach and disable the cannon. Take the top card from tutorial deck A, mission card MO2. There it is. Read it aloud, place it face up in the mission card space. So here's my next mission. Vanguard knows our last coordinates and will surely send a second team to investigate unless we find a way to silence the cannon that brought us down there in grave danger. Objective, find a way to neutralize the cannon in Sector 3. It's up there. Okay, so there's my mission. And then we place P07, another point of interest, which must be the cannon surely, in Sector 3. There it is, bulbous cannon. The installation that downed our ship will prevent any rescue efforts. Someone needs to disable it. And it says, hint, before you attempt to reach the cannon, consider resting. Yeah, good idea. Okay, so it's actually his go, and he is going to rest because he had a second go. So half your dice rounding up. So if you've got 5 dice, that's 3 dice. So I can refresh 3. There we go. Don't get them all, unfortunately. Ugh. And I get to draw a section card as well, so that's good. There's my section card deck. Here it is. Calculated rest. Now I mustn't forget these because these let me do things. There's quite a lot to keep track of if you're a solo player because you have to keep an eye on these section cards as well. They have stuff that you can do with dice combinations, and of course there's one-off things as well. I'm not really a big solo player. I prefer to interact with other people, so I'm looking forward to playing this with I think one other person, and I think it'd be a bit more fun. But some people love solo stuff, but it's certainly engaging. So what do we do next? Well, that's the end of our turn, so or end of Amir's turn, so he gets to draw an event card. So let's see what happens. Okay, it says if no, so we've got the T symbol, the danger symbol. There's a whole bunch of different danger symbols which are on this reference card here. So if no icons match, discard this card. Blah, blah, blah. So icons do match because there's one here on the control room and there's one here on convex panels. Progress all time tracks by 2. Hint, nice that it's still giving me hints. In this tutorial mission, it's on the global condition card. We still haven't got that revealed, so that's not something we have to worry about, I believe. So it's a new turn. What am I going to do? What's Recon going to do? Well, he has to get to the cannon. It says rest first, but I've only got 1 dice missing, so maybe I'll give it a go. Let's see what happens. So I have to move. I can move in both directions here, so I can move to the bulbous cannon, but I have to roll a danger die to do so. And it's got a T on it, so we can refer to this reference card here. Oops, I rolled the wrong die. Sorry, it's this. Danger die is this one. These are injury dice. I've got to remember, this is an injury dice. Orange one is a danger die. So, rolling a danger die. That is nothing. I've got the two other symbols are just a scratch and sacrifice a dice, so that one is safe. That's good, so I make it without any problems. To the bulbous cannon. Now for his second action, I can sprint to the base of the cannon. It's a dice check. It requires a danger die. And I have to get a basic symbol and a strength symbol. And of course, there's my red symbol, which is red dice, which is spent. And that's the one that's got the muscle symbol on it. Ah, curses. I should have rested. I'm an idiot. Okay, so let me see. We definitely want another red. And we want one of these as well. Let's give it a go. Let's pop it down the dice thing, shall we? Right, now I've got a little problem with this dice thing, is that it does tend to stick at the back there. So I'm going to have to fix that. So there we go. That is pretty good. I really should have put a green in, because if I'd had a green basic symbol, it would have given me the muscle symbol. As it is, I've just got two basics. Let's see if I can do anything here. Oh, this works actually. So I can spend athletics, which is perfect for sprinting to the base of the cannon. There it is. And on here I've got during a dice check, change red to the chosen result. So I can change that to, oh, there's no muscle result on that one. Oh no, that would have been really good. Oh no, this was the basic one and this is the one with the muscle. Oh, so close, that would have been really good. Okay, this is quite clever, this symbol, this system. Okay, I've stuffed up there. So I've got the basic one. This one I could have changed to a muscle symbol if it had been this red dice, but it isn't, so I can't use that. Oh no. Okay, there's nothing I can do. I've stuffed it up. That means I gain just a scratch injury. So I've got just a scratch. Oh, this is good. This is fun. Okay, that's his go. Unsuccessful, unfortunately. So I should bring in Amir here to assist him next time. And in fact, my recon guy can assist him. Again, I'm going to risk it again and not refresh. So let's do the danger die for moving. Nothing, he gets there safely. And then for his second action, he's going to try to sprint to the base of the cannon. Here we go. Now I definitely need this symbol, so I need that one. And I need this symbol as well. Is there a basic one? There's a basic one on this one as well, so I'm going to risk it. Actually, maybe I should get them all. I'm going to take them all, see what happens. Wish me luck. And I've got to roll a danger die with it. Did I do that last time? I might have missed that. I've got to roll a danger die with it. Okay, so that doesn't do anything, which is good. I've got a basic symbol and I've got a muscle symbol. Huzzah! So I do it. So replace with card P03. Here it is. Blind spot. Safe at last. The gun cannot target us here. Now I've got to either disable the cannon or damage the cannon. Wow. This is pretty cool. I mean, imagine there's this whole book full of all this stuff. There's so much going on. This is really quite interesting. Okay, so that's the end of his go. Really going to have to... Now, did I do an event card? I might have missed an event card for him, but anyway, I'll do an event card for him. Okay, icons do match, so progress all time tracks by 1. Okay, this isn't an issue until I get global condition card G01. Where is global condition card G01? Oh, here it is. So I haven't got it yet. Okay, so let's go back to my boss, Yoppie Ulrich, and he is going to either disable the cannon or damage the cannon. What will I do? Well, the first thing I'm going to do, oops, there's his spent dice, is rest. That's very important, so I'll rest and get these back. So I've got all my dice now, and since the other guy's in the same space, he can assist with one of his dice. So that's important. So, which is very handy, except he can't assist because they're all used. Ah, curses. Okay, I need a technical symbol and a computer symbol, and I don't have any computer symbols on these dice. That's really not my thing. Obviously science is good at this. Wow, this is quite clever, isn't it? Because the science symbol is obviously the science dude. Muscle symbol is him. Very clever. Okay, I'm going to have to try and damage the cannon because that's my specialty. So I will take one of those. I'll take a couple of green because I can change those. Oh, and I need a shield symbol as well. I need a Vanguard to do that, don't I? Oh, this is hard. Yeah, I really need his assistance on this one. Interesting. Oh, by the way, he got a just a scratch, which means he gets an injury die added to one of his tracks. Well, I'll try this one because it's got a Vanguard symbol on it. Let's see if I can do it. I think I'll try and disable it. No, I won't. No, I won't. I'll damage it. Here we go. Right, so first the injury dice. No, hang on. I'm going to modify the results, so I can decide to modify the results before I do anything. I've got to follow this sequence here to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Activate any dice combination effects. So I've got that, which is good. I'm going to need a shield. That's what I'm going to need. So I can use my athletics thing to turn the red one to a chosen result. So I can turn that to a Vanguard, and that is great. So now I've got what I need, because the Vanguard can count as a shield symbol. Resolve injury and danger dice. Now if I had this and it matched any of my injuries, I'd be in trouble, but I've only got a heavy injury symbol on just a scratch, so I don't have to worry about that. So these all go into my spent pool, and I've damaged the cannon. So I gain a success token. Woohoo! Replace with card P000. And there's 3 of those cards, so I randomly pick one. And I go to log 420. Nothing interesting, nothing left there. Here we go.
Away team, exploration report 1H. Fortunately, the base of the turret wasn't armored as heavily as its top. Our small, controlled detonations made quick work of the emplacement. With the turret's machinery exposed, it became even more apparent that it was a piece of much cruder, different technology than the rest of the sphere. This, coupled with the fact that the turret had forcefully dug itself into the sphere with long claws, led us to conclude the turret was left by some other race who discovered this sphere a long time ago. Whoever made it, it is clear they wanted to prevent other species from studying this place. It's good we disabled the cannon before the rescue team, or Vanguard itself, entered its firing range.
Yeah. Oh, another log.
Vanguard, this is the away team. We regrouped and got rid of the cannon that brought down our lander. No casualties. Any ETA on the rescue team?
We're already on our way, away team. ETA 36 hours. Hold on tight. Do you have enough supplies to last that long, away team?
Yeah, lucky for us, most of the stuff in the lander survived. We'll be cutting it close on the oxygen, but we should be fine.
Excellent. You can proceed with your mission then.
Please repeat, Vanguard. You want us to keep searching this place?
Of course. There's nothing else you can do for now. And we still need to know more about the structure before Vanguard gets too close. The scans you've provided indicate there's some sort of a room within the sphere, near your location, filled with what looks like some alien technology. Take a look and see what you can make of it.
Copy that, Vanguard. Proceeding with the mission.
Gee, that sergeant is really cheery, isn't he? Sounds about 22. So take the top card from tutorial deck A, which is mission card MO3. Here it is. Replace my current mission card. So I secured the crash site. That was successful. That's great. Now I've got mission the Iris. The Vanguard is still barreling towards this alien structure. We must discover what's on the other side and what its purpose is. Fully explore Sector 6, which is here, the control room. Hint, read the descriptions of locations on the planet board. Revealing the final point of interest of Sector 6 requires an action elsewhere. If you get stuck and don't know what to do, go to log 600. So I have to go to somewhere else first. So, I think I'll stop there because I don't want to spoil the ending of this first scenario for you. You can see the basic idea of how things work now. Now, I realise this wasn't a tutorial video because I was being kind of clunky as I learned things as I went. But it's now starting to flow a bit and I'm getting the idea of it. I wanted to play it this way because I wanted to show you, what it's like to sort of learn the game and how easy it is. And it's good. I mean, again, I would prefer just to read the rules and go straight in, but I know a lot of people like tutorials, and I do like tutorials that are part of the story and bring you in. I don't like a tutorial which you play and then you just reset the whole thing and start again. So this worked really well, but I must admit, once I'd actually read all the rules and done a rules summary, that's the way I like to learn things, and it all came together. I can see the way the system is working now, and there is so much more to explore, so much more to do. And I don't mean in terms of the planets and everything, there's heaps of that, of course, but even just the other side of it, which is the ship management side. And this is where we'll have the big folder, and we'll manage our ship and get extra stuff and update our technology and get different landers. And wow, it's huge. Again, I've got to say, Awaken do some really cool immersive stuff. I can see that solo would be really entertaining for some people. If they like solo gaming, I would prefer to share this with somebody else because it'd be fun. That way, I like to share these stories with someone else as I play them, but this works really well as solo. I said some stuff about the dice management to start with, and I actually think this dice management system is far more interesting than some of the other dice management systems that I've played. I really like the way there are specific dice to do specific things, and you have special abilities to change them. You've got cards that can change them. You can get assistance from other crew members in the same square to change them as well. So I feel like I've got a level of control, but also there's a danger of things going wrong. Of course, you've got injury dice, could give you an injury as they build up, and 3 of those you're in deep trouble. Danger dice as well. Yeah, I'm liking it. I really, really like it. I think this dice system I didn't feel like it was kind of arbitrary. It felt like different people have different specialty dice, so those characters have different specialties, if you know what I mean. Instead of just, we all roll dice and we all get to change them. You have control of the way things are changing, how you change the dice, and what specialties different characters have to do that. So that's really interesting. I can see, the amazing thing about Awaken is that they just come up with so much creative story stuff, and there's heaps here. Look at all, there's so much here, and so many cards, huge things full of cards, as you can see. So yeah, already I'm starting to get immersed and starting to get into the story, and can see that with each one of these double spreads there's all kinds of possibilities opening up little missions, and as you open up new missions that opens up different possibilities, and also big choices as well, depending on what you do can change the direction of the story. And we haven't even added things like supplies, so there's only so many times you can refresh your dice. That's another thing I really like. I love how you don't just refresh your dice at the start of each turn. Obviously you're refreshing your dice and spending supplies to do so is another decision that you have to make to juggle everything, and also obviously another opportunity for different types of equipment and upgrades and leveling up and all that kind of thing. So there you go, folks. ISS Vanguard. I know this was a bit stretched out, but I thought I'd just take you through the process of me learning this, and I'm going to get into it more, of course, and tell you more about it as we go along, but I don't want to spoil any of the adventures or anything like that. Now, usually I would do some sort of painting tutorials, but these figures have got this sundrop effect, which is great. I am going to paint them eventually, just not straight away, but I'll get into that. And I may film some of that as well, though I don't do a lot of painting tutorials these days. But, we'll see. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting. I found it really interesting to discover this game in this way. I will see you next time. I am Peter. This is the Esoteric Order of Gamers. Go to the website because I'm going to have this rules summary. This is all for the planetary exploration part of the game. I won't do one for the ship management part because that's spelled out very clearly on the sheets in the folder itself. But for planetary exploration, I'll have this 2-page one, and that'll make that part of the game a bit easier to play and learn. If you've enjoyed this, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you get all notifications in future. And of course, I'm on social media and on Twitter especially all the time. and Patreon if you want to support this channel. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Good gaming, everyone. Bye.